I recently posted this YouTube and I put the link here, and I want to read to you a comment that I got in regards to this. It says, I so needed to hear this today. I turned 50 this year and I've really struggled with the idea of turning 50. Where did time go? Knowing I turned 50 this year has me reflect on the question of who I am. I've decided that I'm not going to have a midlife crisis. I'm going to have a midlife discovery. And you know what? That's beautiful. We don't have to have a crisis. We can have a discovery. And yes, when we get older, when we get to be 40 or 50, things start to change. But I got to tell you, baby, they don't always have to change for the worse. I turned 50 7 years ago. So I am 57 years old, and I have to tell you, yes, things are changing, but they're not necessarily changing for the worst. Now, the way I look at it is this: I cannot treat myself, I cannot treat my body, I cannot have the same routines at 57 that I did at 27. It just doesn't make any sense. And if we don't evolve with our body, if we don't change our routines with our body, then we end up struggling with our age. We end up just refusing to have new routines that are going to benefit us. And we get stuck in these routines of like, no, I did this in my 20s, so I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. You're going to find that your aging process is probably going to be a little bit more difficult. So I wanted just to share with you some of the changes I have noticed in myself and how I have compensated and changed with them. So this is my version of how I'm changing as my body changes as I get older. But again, it's not necessarily bad. Part of being over 50 and basically changing with age is exercising. Now, I am 57 years old, and before the pandemic hit, which was only been a couple of years, I was running 3 miles a day. I absolutely love running, and I would go to the gym every night and I would run 3 miles a day. But the pandemic hit, COVID happened, and I actually ended up getting COVID. So ever since then, I just don't have the lung capacity that I had prior to getting COVID. So I have adjusted. I have adjusted not only for my age, but for the simple fact that my lungs don't have that capacity. And I go for a walk every night with my trusty companion. And to me, you know what? It's not crazy. It's not, going out there and doing crazy exercise, but it's still exercise, and it's still my exercise, and it still gets me out of the house, and it still gets my blood going, and it's something that you need to do. So if you're over 50 and you want to exercise, do whatever it is that you can. Do whatever it is that you want to do. I also have a rock climbing membership, and I don't go very high up on the wall. I kind of look like a little sloth just hanging there, but it's my exercise and it feels good. So if you're over 50 or if you're over 40 or if you're over 30, whatever age it is, I suggest you find some form of exercise that works for you, that you enjoy, and do it. And that is, again, another point of being over 50. Get out there, exercise, do something. Don't let your age stop you, and don't let your age I don't know what they're saying to each other. What's she saying? But Liberty's very interested. So anyway, get out there, do some exercise, take your friend for a walk. Another part of me being over 50 and making it a smooth transition is figuring out that I no longer have the metabolism of a 20-year-old. Fact, science, call it whatever you want. My body just isn't running at the same speed that it was when I was 20. You know what? No big deal. I just made some adjustments. And one of the things that I adjusted is what I eat. I still eat food that I enjoy. I just eat a different kind of food. Now I'm going to stop talking in riddles and let you know exactly what I did. So a couple of years ago, my stomach was constantly upset and I couldn't figure out what it was. So I was eliminating things and it finally figured out that my body was not digesting meat the same way that it was. It was upsetting my stomach. So I became a vegetarian. And I have to tell you, since I stopped eating meat, my digestive problems have improved dramatically. So I'm a vegetarian. Not only am I a vegetarian, but I'm a clean eating vegetarian, meaning I don't eat fast food. I don't eat a lot of processed food. I try to eat as healthy and as clean as possible because, again, you know what? My body is 57 years old. It's been working really hard for 57 years. So I am trying to give it the best shot to continue to work good. So I am going to make myself dinner. And what a typical dinner for me will look like and what I'm going to have tonight is I'm going to make myself a tostada salad. Or just, I guess it's not really a tostada salad, it's more just a tostada. And I'm going to have a flour tortilla with some vegetarian refried beans. I'm going to put an avocado on there with some cheese and some lettuce. And then I also have, I think I'm going to, sometimes I put on a plant-based meat, sometimes I don't. I don't think I am today. So I'm just gonna keep it with the refried beans. But I'll show you what it looks like. It's really super yummy. And again, it's clean. So whatever your body is telling you, you know what, listen to your body and make those adjustments. I got to tell you, if you sit there and you're like, well, this is what worked when I was 20 and you're in your 50s, it might not work as well. So just be prepared to make those adjustments and the transition, surprisingly, will be very smooth. And here's a real quick look at my dinner. I guess I have to actually show you my dinner. I have to put it in the frame if you get to see it. So I did not do any of the plant-based meat. This is just tortilla beans. I have an avocado, cheese, lettuce, some sour cream, and some sriracha. This is my idea of a feast. I'm gonna eat it. I'm starving. But again, just listen to your body and adjust your food and what you eat according to whatever your body needs. So another thing that actually changed when I turned 50 was my skincare routine. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was younger, I paid no attention to my skin, except, trying to get rid of the acne that I had. But as far as like sunscreen, I didn't wear sunscreen. I wore baby oil to try to make myself tan sooner or faster, and I cannot believe I used to put baby oil on my skin and go lay out in the sun. But that was a different time. But nowadays I pay a lot of attention to my skin, and I always go and I get a chemical peel, I get microdermabrasions, but more importantly, every night I take off my makeup and I wash my face. And this is what I use. I love this stuff. I have it for my evening to take off my makeup, and then I have some in the shower. So what you want to do is you want to make sure whatever cleanser you're using, make sure that is gentle and that it's not stripping your skin of any of its oils, because you want your skin, we don't want oily skin, but we don't want dry skin. So make sure that whatever skincare routine you have, it's giving moisture to your face, because trust me, your face, your skin is going to it needs that moisture. It needs that moisture just to stay, a little bit firmer. And this is it. This is my 57-year-old face washed, and my neck is all nice and moisturized, and now I am going to bed. I have definitely found that now that I'm in my 50s, it's not that I need more sleep, but what happens is that if I don't get the right amount of sleep, because I usually sleep maybe 6-7 hours a night. I'm not a huge sleeper. Sometimes I'll go 7 to 8. But what happens is if I don't get the amount of sleep that I need, I can see it on my face. My skin, it's like the lack of sleep just sucks all the life right out of my skin. So for me, really important is sleep, rest, just de-stressing, all of that. So again, in my 20s, in my 30s, you know what? I could operate off of 4 hours of sleep, a couple hours of sleep, and just keep on going. I would tuck and roll and just go. Now that I'm in my 50s, you know what? I can do it. I just choose not to. And I choose not to because, you know what? I'm trying to, again, give my body the best chance to age gracefully. How else am I going to say it? So there's another thing that changes when you turn 50, but I just don't think they're bad changes. Those are just a few examples of how I have adapted with my age. Now, again, I don't think change is bad. A lot of times people will be like, "Ooh, I don't like change. Change means things are changing." Well, you know what? Again, things are changing because we're changing, but there are plenty of things that don't change. You know what? You don't have to change the way you dress. You don't have to change the way that you present yourself. You don't have to fade away. You don't have to change a whole lot of things. But my entire message on this episode is just listen to your body. Make those little adjustments that will just make getting older smoother. There's nothing wrong with being older. You know, again, and I know y'all are probably going to get tired of me saying this, but there's nothing wrong with aging. You know what? We can age and be powerful. We can age and be beautiful. We can age and just be the most amazing beings on this planet if that is how we choose to do it. So let that stigma of aging go. Embrace yourself. Embrace who you are. Listen to your body and just enjoy your life. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I had a lot of fun showing you the changes I make. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I'm not very shy about showing you what I look like with no makeup on right before bed. And I think it's a beautiful thing. We are beautiful at every stages of our lives. So if you enjoyed today's episode, by all means, please hit that like button. If you like to stick around and see what I'm going to be talking about next, I'd love it if you'd hit the subscribe button. I would absolutely like to hear your comments. What are the things that you have noticed that you've changed in your life? You know what? Please share them. I would love to hear what you've done. So maybe somebody else who's reading this, you know, it will help them in their transition of aging also. You can follow me on any of my social media links. Those are all listed below. I would love you to follow me on all of them. And until tomorrow, please remember, tell yourself something kind, wear what you want, and listen to your body. I'll see you tomorrow.